Hey folks, my name is Miss Midha, and today we're going to focus on the following question. How do we estimate a population mean? Let's get started. All right, so we have two lists right here, and these are two lists of scores that 5 individuals got on a memory test. Now, list A contains the scores of the 5 individuals when taking the test after listening to pop music. And list B contains the scores of the same 5 individuals in the exact same order when taking the test after listening to classical music. All right, we have a lot of things that we have to do here. So let's just go through them before you get started. So first, we need to find the mean of list A, the mean of list B, and then the difference mean of list A minus mean of list B. After that, you want to think about what does this difference of mean represent in our context. Then you want to create a third list. Label it list C. Now, list C has 5 numbers, each of which are the differences of a number in list A and its corresponding number in list B. And an example was provided for you here. You'll notice the first element of list C is -16. And how did we get -16? Well, we took the first element in list A and we said, all right, the first element in list A minus the first element in list B, 59 minus 75, that equals to -16. Once you've found the remaining numbers in list C, you do want to find the mean of list C. And then you want to think about what this means of difference represents in our context. Finally, think about what is the connection between the difference of means and the mean of differences, and see if you can think about why that's true. All right, as I said, this is going to take quite a bit of time, so please pause your video for as long as you need to complete all 5 of these parts. Once you think you have everything down, go ahead and unpause, and we will review. All right, so first we have to find the mean of list A and the mean of list B. So just a reminder, how do you find the mean? You simply just have to add up all of your numbers that are in the list and divide by the number of items in your list. So for list A, I noticed that I'm going to add 59, 28, 73, 58, and 44. When I do that, I get 262. So that is the sum of all of the items in list A. Now there are 5 items, so I'm going to take 262 and I'm going to divide it by 5. Once I do that, I will notice that the mean of list A is 52.4. Okay, now list B, same idea. I'm going to add up 75, 93, 13, 21, and 70. That's going to give me 272. There are 5 items here as well, so I divide this by 5, and I get a mean for list B of 54.4. Okay, now it's asking me to find the difference of means. Okay, so the difference mean of list A minus the mean of list B. Well, if I look at my mean of list A and I look at my mean of list B, I simply just have to do 52.4 minus 54.4. So that's going to tell me that the difference is -2, right? 52.4 minus 54.4 is going to give me -2. And it is okay that the difference is negative. Okay, the differences between the means can definitely be negative. All right, now what does the difference of means represent in this context? Well, if we think about this, it's really just an estimate for how differently groups tend to score on the test after listening to the 2 different types of musics, right? The 2 different types of music, right? So we had this score that was taken after the 5 individuals listened to pop music, and then we have this list of the scores after they listened to classical music. The difference is -2, so that's telling us, that's giving us an estimate for how differently the groups tended to score on the test after listening to each type of music. Okay, now what about list C? All right, let's think this through. We already know that the first item is going to be, it's going to be -16. The second number is going to be 28 minus 93. That's going to give us -65. Next is 73 minus 13. That's 60. Fourth number will be 58 minus 21, 37. And then 44 minus 70, -26. Okay, same idea here. We have to find the mean of list C. So we have to add up all 5 items. When I add these up, I'm going to get negative 10. I take negative 10 and I divide it by 5, because again, I have 5 items. So this is telling me that the mean of list C is negative 2. All right, so this is the mean of list C. Okay, now let's look at this next question. What does this mean of differences represent in our context? Now remember how we got list C, right? We took essentially the numbers in list A and we subtracted them by the numbers in list C, right? The first element in list A minus the first element in list B, and so on and so forth. So what does this means of difference represent in our context? This is an estimate for how individuals scored on the test after listening to 2 different types of music, right? So again, think about how we got this means of difference and how in number 2, we got that difference of means. So what is the connection between the difference of means and the mean of differences? Again, I'm going to highlight it in different colors just so you can see the difference. The difference of means was referring to what we found in question 1. And then the mean of differences is referring to the answer we got in question number 3. So what's the connection? Well, the difference of means and the mean of differences, if I look at the actual numbers, if I look at the answers themselves, you may notice that they're exactly the same. The difference of means and the mean of differences were both negative 2. So the difference of means and the mean of differences, they're always going to be the same. Now, why is this? Well, this is because both involve the sum of all the numbers in the first list and the opposite of all the numbers in the second list, right? The order in which we take that sum, it doesn't actually matter because it's always going to involve what I just mentioned, right? The sum of all the numbers in the first list and the opposite of all the numbers in the second. All right, so I just went and typed in the answers for 2, 4, and I wrote out just a note about question 5. So again, just sort of thinking about the idea of like the difference of mean versus the mean of differences. How are they related? Again, the difference of means in the context that we are working with here, it's an estimate for how differently groups tend to score on the test after listening to 2 different types of music. Whereas the mean of differences is an estimate for how individual scores on the test differed after listening to 2 different types of music. And you'll notice that they will always be the same.